Hi, Dave. It's wonderful to connect with you. So, Dave, as I told you, I want to know the inner aspect of a person you are. So just let me know first to start off. How is your life today, and what do you feel about it today?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Maria, for this opportunity. Of course, my life today is really, really beautiful. I am living 6 Sundays a week life right now.
Oh, wow.
People have like one Sunday a week, but I'm living six. So life is really, really blessed. What I'm doing right now, I'm actually the India's first passionpreneur mentor. So what I basically do is I help people find their passion and convert that passion into a business model.
Right.
In other words, if you ask me, I help people to quit their 9 to 5 race,
Mm-hmm.
become their own boss, right? That's my life right now, and all I do is connect with people, share my knowledge, share my wisdom. Uh, so that's what I'm doing at the moment, helping transforming a lot of people. My mission, similar to yours, my mission is to transform 10 million lives.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that's 1 crore life that I want to impact over the next few years. And I've been doing pretty good. I'm also the best-selling author of the book called 80% Mindset, 20% Skills.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm also the high-ticket sales expert and social media branding expert. So I'm doing a lot of things. But if I have to summarize it in one word or one sentence, I would say I am somebody who can help people transform their life from 9 to 5 to building 6 Sundays a week. By the way, that is the title of my next book, which is going to be released by the end of this year.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, that sounds interesting because I have seen that, people live when they're working from 9 to 5 on the weekdays. They actually are looking forward only for the weekend
Yeah.
because people are not enjoying what they enjoy to do.
Yes.
It's just that they're killing their time and earning some thousands and really not making use of their actual interests. And people just wait for that weekend. And I understand that you want to convert this as like every day being all Sundays, because you mean to say that you are pushing people or pulling people towards doing what they love to do, right? That's an amazing thought, I think,
Yeah,
because
I remember there was one Gallup survey, talking about people looking forward to that weekend. I was one of that guy who was exchanging 5 days in return of two happy Sundays or Saturdays. Right?
yeah,
Exchanging that time. And the
that's
Gallup
yeah,
survey said that 80% of the people who are in jobs, they're not happy doing what they're doing.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
that's
I totally agree. Yeah.
and I truly believe that the true happiness, I mean, a lot of people, they come and tell me that Dave, why are you against 9 to 5? Look, I'm not against 9 to 5. What I am against is the comfortable, the people who are in comfort zone, who do not do anything outside of their comfort. I'm against those people, right? How
Right.
would you know if there's a better life which exists out of the 9 to 5 job until unless you try for it? Right? So I am somebody who has seen both sides of life, right? So I've seen life where I had one Sunday a week for almost 16 long years, and now I'm living 6 Sundays a week life. Where
Mm,
do I feel happy? Where do I feel satisfied? And where do I feel fulfilled? For
right.
sure, in living 6 Sundays a week life, working on my passion, working on my dream, working on my mission. If I'm working in 9 to 5, I'm still with somebody else, and I'm still restricted.
Right.
There will be people who are happy, but trust me, they're still being selfish because you can do much more in your life than what you're doing right now. Provided
Right.
you know your mission, your purpose, and I think to your story we were just discussing, right? You've been
Right.
doing different things.
Yeah.
Uh, the fulfillment. You are also in, you're a well-known actress in South, in Kannada and all. But what the pleasure, the fulfillment that you're
Yeah.
getting right
Yeah.
now by doing
Yeah.
this and
Yeah.
inspiring, impacting people is totally different than entertaining somebody. So in
Absolutely.
your 9 to 5, you're still entertaining your boss, you're entertaining your CEO, you're still entertaining, right?
Right.
You're just doing what they're asking you to do. They're asking you to, here you go, shot is ready, go call the customer, close the deal. So you're still entertaining somebody else, but now you're doing something which is making you happy, which is making you
Right.
fulfilled. So
You're basically creating your own space. You're in your comfort zone, not in the zone that you are you're wanted to.
yes,
You're basically creating the zone is what that's an amazing thing, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it is. But I must tell you, the journey was not easy, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that is where I want to, like, my next question would be that, because this is because I am very curious to know, to for you to come to this stage, and where you're saying that you want to impact, so many people. How did this thought come to your mind? What made you think this? And how are you different in doing this?
Wow. Okay. So brilliant. Two questions, right? So how
Yeah.
did thought arise and how am I different? The first thought, the first time when I actually look, let me just give you a little backstory. All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as a small kid, I was born in a very humble family. My dad
Mm-hmm.
was a truck driver. My mom
Mm-hmm.
was a housewife. Both of them were not educated. They actually struggled to send us to an English medium school uh, because of multiple reasons. Number one, because of the money. Number two, they did not have the status. And for you to study in an English medium school, you need to be from a well qualified status, like doctors, lawyers, and all, in a small town in Gujarat. That's where we were brought up. Uh, so my mom struggled to get us through those tough times and make sure that we get the best of best education. And I saw a lot in terms of the hardship, in terms of money not being available. So my mom, she sold her jewelry. We sold our house. We borrowed a lot of money. Me and my elder brother, we were two of us. We are the only two people in our own, all the chain of relatives in all our own community who actually went to English medium school.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we were lucky too, just thanks to my mom and my dad. My dad is
Right.
not, but my mom is still there, and just their blessings, the way. And again, the community we were raised in, it was very. We had the house which was made of the cement sheets, right? You know the cement sheets, which really.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I lived in
Oh, you
it.
did? Okay, I didn't
I
know.
lived in
Okay,
it.
okay. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So when the summers were there, it used to get really, really hot. And
Very hot. Yeah.
very hot. So we've seen those, and the house was surrounded by all the drunkards and people who are fight and abuse and all that thing. But my mom made sure that we stay in the safe environment and we get the best of education despite of the hardship. Why am I sharing this? Because that was the background, that is the story, that's the place where I was raised in. and
Absolutely.
and then I got into actually the BPOs and the corporate world, and then I got into sales. For I've been in sales for more than 16 years after I quit
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
BPO job. So I saw the entire journey, and I saw my dad working really, really hard. Going from Jalgaon, from Gujarat to Jalgaon, Dhulia, driving a truck. I just went once with him, and he told me once that, Dave, make sure, son, that you study really, really hard so that
Mm.
you don't have to do what I am doing today. That thing was stuck in my head so strong. And when I used to work in corporate life, I used to work really, really hard. And the time passed, and I jumped few companies here and there, and I reached a point where I was making like 3.5 lakh per month as a salary, right? So coming from that background, making 3.5 lakh, uh, it was really big thing. But you know what? There was still something missing in my life. Like, money was coming in, and I was living a decent life, having car and, living a proper, living in proper society and all.
Right.
That something was missing. And
Right.
this all changed the day when I decided that, yeah, what is happening? If I have to be in job or sales, if I have to do something, why not get great at it? So that's when I said, okay, let me just tune into some videos and learn some sales, some mindset. And that's when I got introduced to an amazing, amazing person. His name is Grant Cardone.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
one of the top sales, trainer in the US, and he's the real estate. He has like multiple businesses. So I just got hooked onto his personality. And then I read his one book, which completely transformed my life. That name of that book was The 10X Rule. And the 10X rule made me realize that despite me coming from a humble background, knowing the importance of hard work, still I felt that I was doing pretty good. I was doing pretty good. But that book made me realize that I was being selfish by not using my potential, right?
Absolutely.
I was only
Yeah.
using 5% of my potential. And that really, just blew my mind away. I
Yeah.
said, wow, if me coming from humble background, working really hard, if that person is only using 5% of the potential, then I'm really amazed to just think about how many people just within India, there would be like more than 256 million people. They live in India in middle class families.
Right.
256 million. That was the statistics probably 4 or 5 years ago. Out of that 256 million, I can tell you, I was one of them, and I still, I feel I'm still part of that. But uh, so I realized that 70% of the people just think exactly like me. If they're from the humble background, they have the middle class family, their dads are rickshaw drivers or, working somewhere, retired teachers and all. They all have the one comfort mindset and comfort, they are in comfort zone. So I said, since I realized that I was not using my potential, then I started taking steps just by just tuning my mindset in one direction and putting my heart and soul into things which I'm really passionate about. Everything started coming my way, right? Of course, I was making a lot of money, but still, my life just became happier and I started feeling more fulfilled just because I tuned my mindset right. Then I said, okay, and what did other successful people do? Then that book was just a trigger, right? Then one
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
another,
mm.
I read so many multiple books, and then I realized the self development is the most important aspect. I invested about like 14 lakhs into just self development, and within 1.5 years, 2 years, right? Picking up all the important courses and picking up all the knowledge and skills. Then I reached a point where I said, okay, I'm going to actually start sharing my knowledge and wisdom with others, because all the successful people, they are successful because they impacted others. So if I
Right.
want to be successful, I should be giving back to others, because I found this, solution to an average life, right? I was living with the middle class, mediocre mindset. And again, middle class has nothing to do with the money. It is the comfort
Correct.
mindset. And that's when I said, okay, I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share my journey. I'm going to share my wisdom with everybody. So I started sharing all that wisdom. I think it's been a couple of two plus years. And that's when I started getting a lot of positive feedback, and people reached out to me. They started getting inspiration. Then I just documented all my secrets in my book, 80% mindset, 20% skills. And this has also been reviewed by some of the multi-millionaires like Dan Lok. He's a
Mm-hmm,
multi-millionaire
mm-hmm.
based out of Canada. VSR, Lilima. So that is what changed my life. Just one book and few videos actually transformed my life to come out of the 9 to 5 rat race. Again, when I started, I did not know that I will quit my job and I will build six
Right.
days a week life. But one thing led to another, by
Yeah.
just one thing, which was the intention was to impact others. So to answer your question, how am I different?
Yeah.
I feel there are a lot of people who are doing business and all that. The very few people who are actually living their passion and
Correct.
impacting, coming from that angle of impacting millions of people, having the big goals and big dreams. I think that's probably, I would say a little bit I'm different. I'm not saying others are not, but this
Yeah.
is my, plus point is that I come with passion, and that passion led me to build a life which I call 6 Sundays a week, right? So these days I just do probably one workshop only for my Passionpreneur mastermind community once in a month, and I just do one live stream, and I do coach
Okay.
from home. So that's my life, and I all rest of my time I spend with my family. I write in second book, and I'm writing more things. But yeah, it came with a price. Last 1.5 years, I was away from my family, just working on my mission, my passion. So that's who I am, right where I started. Long story, but that's my story.
Well, that's wonderful. Actually, I just have to tell you that when you told me about those cement sheets and all that, I need to tell you, Dave, that whatever I am today, as you said, your mother really pushed you guys to do something better than what they have seen in their lives, right? They've been the strength, and the same way while I was listening to your story, and I could actually recollect my own story that today if I was in an actress, or today whatever I'm doing, I sometimes felt that mothers really push you to such an extent that they actually show you one part of the person that this is not your life. You need to look at something different or more than to what it is today,
Yes.
right? So I think that really made me feel that, because even my dad, till date, you believe it or not, he's somebody who cannot sit at home and do nothing. He is an amazing driver. You know what he has done? He has taken up driving itself as his job at the moment. you know and sometimes we feel that, why, dad, why do you want to do that? And he says that, man, I mean, it's not about the age. It's about you doing something, and which doesn't put you into the comfort zone. So what happens is when people grow a little older, right, they feel like ab mera sab kuch ho gaya, and now my body doesn't permit me to do things. And this person has been my inspiration, and he says that if I sit in one place, I think I'll become redundant. I rather
That's
go
true.
and do things, you
That's
know. I rather go and do things. And he is now, doing this tourist wala business where he goes and he himself drives and takes passengers along. And I feel so nice. He's also driven a auto rickshaw. He's done everything, you
wow.
know. And I think today, for the result that I am in, these things really made my life, saying that, at the end of the day, when you're put into that, you can also get adjusted to that, but
Yes.
you don't have to be there for long.
Yes.
You need to figure out, saying that my life can be better, and I
Yes.
want to make everything better out of it.
Yes.
So that's when I think it pulled me. And today, for what I am and what I'm doing, these are the people who really have made some difference in my life, like my parents. Obviously, we don't have a choice to choose our parents, but I think by default, whatever we get, some parents are amazing.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think your mom is, and your dad, whoever has told you those words, that boss, you got to study, you need to do something really better, and
Yeah.
that pushed you to what you are today. Cool.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. It
that
just this leads to God, right? Your parents, we've not seen God, but
yeah,
they are
yeah.
living God. If we don't, make them happy and then don't listen to them, then we're doing something wrong. By the way, I was fortunate to even interview my mom on my YouTube channel.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's nice.
she cannot speak English or any other, but she had like, okay, Hindi, but she was very open. So, she shared her story on how
Yeah,
she struggled to raise us and put us in English medium school where everybody was against her. Like, everybody's like, all relative that don't put in English medium because, you don't have money, you will, suffer so much. But she was the one who stood the ground and made things happen. So yeah, that's
absolutely. Thanks to your mom
absolutely.
for somebody like you today. And I'm talking, and I think I have to thank her. I'm glad. So, one more, interesting question while you were saying, what is your, you know, uh, concept about God? You were talking about God. Do you, how has God really been that, of substance in your life? Has it really made any difference? Are you religious? What are you?
So honestly, I believe more in humanity
Yeah.
and karma than I believe in God.
Okay.
So honestly, I don't call myself as somebody, spiritual or somebody. I'm somebody who's very, very particular about the deeds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everything that I'm doing in my life is focused towards karma and deeds and how we can lift others.
Right.
I believe our true meaning of our living is giving. And if you
Exactly.
understand that, that's the force. Of course, I'm not the complete atheist. Of course, I do believe in God. There is
You believe in that power,
yeah, there is some
some force.
power, the force, which is actually
Mm.
driving the entire universe. So,
Right.
again, I cannot question anyone.
Exactly.
But I am a bigger believer in humanity and giving and impacting lives than this. So if you just take an example, by the way, this is my Care Nation T-shirt.
Oh
So
wow.
this is the symbol of me staying close to God in a way of by serving others. So on my YouTube channel, if you just Google Care Nation Dave Gadhvi, you will find so many videos that I have made, which is me going and walking up to street vendors and
Yeah.
buying all their goods or giving them money, and the joy that brings to me, the happiness that brings to me, that is precious. And I record those conversations intentionally because I know there is somebody somewhere who needs this kind of inspiration.
Absolutely. I agree. Totally agree with you.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is my definition of being spiritual or religious. That is to give back to humanity. So basically, I'm serving two different class, if you call class, or different type of people. Is number one is the street vendors. How am I serving them? Is by bringing joy to the face by buying their product, and using that discussion to inspire others to spread more humanity.
Right.
That's
Right.
number one. Then number two is where I'm focusing more on people like me who was born in average middle class family and who can do more with their life than just go 9 to 5. So I'm focusing on the middle class, people, and the people who are, poor, who are working on streets, and especially street vendors. Those are the two different classes that I'm working closely with, and this gives me the fulfillment. And so this is what gives me happiness and drive of doing whatever I'm doing today.
Yeah, so in that way, as you said, any Bhagavad Gita, any Quran, or any Bible teaches this. I mean, doing and serving people, I think, is the biggest agenda or the motto of any person's living, right? If you're not giving and you're only thinking about receiving, then I think you're not living a human life. Right?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely agree.
so I appreciate that. So, and one more thing is, anytime in your journey, you told me that you come from a different background, and so what you are today is completely your efforts, right?
Mhm.
Completely you've worked through it.
Mhm.
Have you faced like a very disastrous time or a period or a phase where you went through that failure and you were like, how I mean, have you faced something like that? And if you have faced, how did you come out of it? What was your mantra or your force or a substance for you to, like, you know just come out of it completely?
Yeah, so fortunately, all my failures were very short-lived, which was
Yeah.
very good for me. It was
Yeah.
not I was down and out for months or
Yeah.
weeks. It was not like that.
Yeah.
So no, I will not talk about the corporate life. We all have challenges there, but it was
Absolutely.
not really a failure. It was all stepping stone.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think the biggest challenge that I had in my life, and I will talk about in terms of my entrepreneurship journey, and I would rather
Mm-hmm.
call myself as a passionpreneur,
Mm-hmm.
somebody
Mm-hmm.
who build their business around passion. So the day when I quit my job, which was well-paying job, 3.5 lakhs per month plus the incentive, right? And I was working as a director sales. After I quit my job, or rather, probably I got fired myself. So
Okay. Okay.
I've shared my story in my upcoming book, how I got fired. And there's a
Okay.
chapter, there is a chapter itself which says art of getting fired. So I got
Wow.
fired.
Okay. Okay.
So that was the time when I quit that job, and I had certain responsibilities. I had few loans which I'd taken. So we all middle class people, right? We have few loans which has been there ancestor times, because
Absolutely.
we were not
Yeah.
enlightened that we need to have
Yeah.
less of liabilities, more of assets. So that was the time when I quit my job, and I was putting my faith into my dream, passion, and my mission to transform millions of lives, right? So I quit
Mhm.
my job. So the active income just stopped completely, right? Then the next thing is the tension that you have, that goes in your mind, that hey, what's going to happen? I'm married. I have a small daughter, 3 years old at that time. So like all these thoughts come in your mind, that how would you feed the family? How would you pay the loan? And your thought process here, your confidence here, and you go down rock, right? And then you said, no, 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 probably I can come up. No, 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 it's okay. And then you slowly pick up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody, right? And fortunately for me, that downfall was for not long, right? And
Mhm.
I even, I'm a big believer of documenting my journey. So I even documented that particular day when I was feeling down and out. The day when I quit my job, I had documented my morning till evening, and I actually expressed my real emotions on when I was down. Then what self-talk and pep talk which I gave to myself, I recorded that and I put it on my YouTube as well. So if somebody's
Nice.
watching it, if you want to see that journey, my ups and downs, just 24 hours, just within 24 hours, you can just go and check. I quit, bye bye, Dave Gadhvi, right? You will see the entire, it will be very interesting. You will have that feeling. So that was a time when I was really down, and I had that nervousness in me that, hey, whether it will work, I was questioning myself. And then, of course, I had a plan, I had the strategy. So the day when I started implementing it, my first workshop, I remember it was in Gurgaon, and I had planned that I will invite all the guests and I will sponsor their seats. And out of all that, I will pick few people who I will mentor personally for next 1 year. So for helping them to find their passion and building their business around passion. That workshop was really bad because of my mistakes, because of the first time I was doing this at a massive scale. So I was hoping at the 100, 80 or 100 people I was aiming at, and
Right.
I sponsored like 60 seats on my own cost, and that also in Gurgaon, Ramada, Gurgaon, in 5-star hotel, everything included, food and everything, whole day workshop. So I invested a lot of money there, and the mistakes I made is I only approved 60 people, and I did
Mm.
not realize that on any workshop, the people who arrive would have like a 50% ratio, right?
Mm.
If you have 100 people, only 50 people will show up. That's actually the true numbers, and I've also experienced the same thing. So I made a stupidity by just approving 60 sponsor seat. Only 20, 22 people showed up. Out of them, nobody signed up for my Passionpreneur Mastermind
Oh.
community. So that was like, spending, about 80,000 or 1 lakh from my own pocket, where there's no active income coming in. I know there's no salary coming in. That was the lowest moment in my life where I felt the pain. I remember I was almost literally in the tears, right? First half, I delivered my speech and all that. And when there was a lunch break, I literally went into the corner and my heart just sank. And I was like, man, is this the end of my dreams? Is this what is this what my future is going to be? Do I have to go back to 9 to 5? Like, am I the failure? People don't believe in me. People don't believe in a mission. All the negative things started creeping in my head. Who came to my rescue? My best buddy, Aniket, who was with me. He's like my buddy, and he understands our mindset, our team. So he was the one who was assisting me in that workshop. He saw something that something was bothering me, starting. So he sat with me. We were having lunch. He said, Dave, he gave me a nice feedback. So I'll cut the story short, but he gave me a feedback and he pepped me up. And that rest of the workshop, the level confidence, everything just boosted up and up and up, right?
Right.
Then at the end, we got 4 people who were interested, out of which one got converted after probably fifth or sixth workshop that I did of that similar series. So he came back later. So ultimately, I recouped the investment that I made with that person. But for that day, that was the lowest moment of my day. So what helped me? Having somebody along your side who understands you, who can criticize you, who can bring you up, criticize in a productive,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and bring you up to the speed. That was the most powerful thing that happened to me, because I was very down and I was questioning my belief and my
Correct.
my strategy and everything. I've even mentioned this story in my upcoming book as well. So that was my down. What helped me is Aniket, and then my belief in my passion and my dreams. So that was the only workshop which tanked. Next workshop, super hit. Next workshop I
Wow.
did in Pune, they were about like 30 some people, and I had like 6 people signing up for my workshop. So and it's a big ticket deal, right? It's an annual engagement. It's not like 1-2 thousand. The fee for one person goes in lakhs. So that was the day I said, like, thank God my dreams have come true. So then that's when I bounced back, and then that rest is history, and I just had a
Wow, wow, wow. So what I want to understand is that immediate that change that happened. What did Aniket actually tell you? Did he give you any kind of a mantra or an internal, like a tool? Which what made it? Like what was his words at that moment
well,
um, to
it was
transform you like this
yeah,
and
yeah.
boost your confidence?
I clearly remember what he told me. He walked up to me and, first he said, Dave, so how's everything going? I said, yeah, it's going okay. Could have been better, man. I'm feeling little, down and all. He said, don't worry, man. So he gave me some pep talk at that time. He said that, I think you're doing good. What you just need to do is just bring the confidence and energy up a little more, right? And that workshop had some technical issues also. The videos was not recording. The sound was, not
Mm-hmm.
the start was really really bad. So I was feeling that thing in my head that less people came out. He knew that something is bothering me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what, Dave, whatever has happened. We are here and we have to deliver the best. I have seen your past workshops, and trust me, the way you talk when you're in workshop, I don't even feel like pulling out my cell phone and checking my cell phone even once throughout your workshop. But this, I pulled up my cell phone, and middle of the workshop, I realized that, why am I getting distracted? So
yeah,
there is
yeah.
something which is missing. What is that? What is that thing is missing? is you probably just need to believe in yourself, in your dream. Dan was like, wow. I said, okay, that is what the punch I needed. And then just right after that lunch break, everything just went back in place, and everything I connected. So yeah, those are the pep talk he gave me. He made me believe in myself. He made me realize that I'm great, and just go out there and win the show. So
Oh, absolutely. I think whatever he said made a lot of difference, because only on that particular day, your insecurities was overtaking your talent, your best performance, right? So I think any time or any given opportunity, I think should be utilized to the best, is what you're trying to say. And Anik meant that you may knock the door, once or twice, but when you're knocking it, it has to be for the first time and the last time.
yeah.
You should feel that way, and you should give your best. And I think through that only, people felt that you were that person who delivered what you're supposed to. And that's when I think the next workshops really made it for you.
Yeah, yeah, and
And
then there was the second day. Then I was training one corporate, and I was
yeah.
delivering the sales training for about 20-25 people, and that was an amazing training. And again, he gave me a feedback, which was again a constructive
Okay.
feedback. He said,
Yeah.
Dave, this was something that I was expecting in the previous workshops as well. What is it that you did? Was like you were authentic, you were real, you're speaking your heart, not
Mm-hmm.
for the slides or reading the text. The
Yeah.
first workshop, I think, that's what was missing. But today, I think you are on fire. That feedback has changed my life completely, right? When sometimes you don't see yourself the way other person can see you. So
Exactly.
having somebody seen as your partner. So, as I say, don't go into battle alone, right? You have to have your own, people with you, your own army. So if somebody's listening to this, if the day when you decide to start your business or do something, have some sane people, with you,
Exactly.
your colleagues, your friend who are better than you or thinking like you. The best solution is have a mentor, so that you do not have any problem, because mentor has already gone through what you're planning to go through. The mentor can tell you where you can go wrong. So that's when I decided that, what, I'm going to be the best mentor for my mentees. And I'm going to make sure that whatever I struggled through in last 2 years of my transformation, starting my own business and learning a lot of things, I want to all my learning, I want to give them on a platter and show them that, hey, this is what you do step by step, so that you can convert your life and build your business around passion. So yeah, that was the drive. So good question.
That's amazing, and that this is one learning. I think, I'm sure people who are watching this will really understand. What I liked in your in what you said was, you may have all the belief in you, but you need to have people around you to raise you to the next level. That can be through some talks, some pep talks that you told, in terms of your friend being there, or your mother, or your anybody. You need to have somebody who can be a good critic. I
Yes.
think that's very, very important. When you know that you're the best, you also need to know that there would be feedbacks, and you need to take it positively
Yeah.
and move ahead. That's amazing. So also, what I would want to really understand is, do you have anything like every day, um, you know a pep
Routine.
talk that you give to yourself on
Yeah.
a daily basis?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
I'm sure there are other people who are doing it, but I think
Yeah.
you are the strength for your own self. So
Yes.
what is that nice pampering or the best talks that you give it to yourself?
So basically, I would give you a detailed version of it,
Yeah.
because pep talk is one portion of my life, which,
Yeah.
I'm a believer on controlling your day and controlling your life. And how would you control your day? How would you control your life? It is by just controlling the first part of your morning. So I'm a big believer. If you control your morning,
Absolutely.
you win your day. And that's the same thing I mentioned in my book as well, that, hey, how successful people, so I know, as I'm a good listener, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So I said that, hey, how can we,
Oh,
how
I
can,
think the fly is
yeah,
in love with your
I
talks.
think so. I think
It's
so.
getting inspired.
It likes to gel, I think, probably.
Oh, yeah. Good.
So, so I studied a lot of millionaires and billionaires, and I even interviewed some of those, successful people like Evan Carmichael, Patrick Bet David, Dan Locke. They're
Right.
big shots, having millions of followers on YouTube. So I learned that they all have the morning ritual. And
Absolutely. Oh, that was my actual question, in fact. What is your morning ritual?
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
next question would have been that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as I wake up,
Yeah.
I actually write my mission, my vision, and my goals every single day.
Wow.
I write
Without fail, even to date.
without feeling dead. Maybe
Wow.
they here and there if I'm traveling sometime or if I'm exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of my time, I wake up with a notepad and a pen and I write my mission, vision, and goals. That's the first thing because I'm very clear. I have to transform 10 million lives. And if I don't believe in it, and if I don't make myself, own that mission, then I'm gonna go back again to living mediocre middle class mindset life. So that is first thing I do. Then I follow some acronym called SAVERS, which is SAVERS, which also is in the Miracle Morning, as in the one book called Miracle Morning. The SAVERS is there. I've also shared in my book as well. So S stands for silence, A stands for affirmation, V stands for visualization, E stands for exercise, R stands for reading, and S stands for scribbling, which is your journaling or documenting. So what I do is, as soon as I'm done with writing goals, I switch on a couple of videos for the affirmation and visualization. Oops. So the affirmation, I'm following Dan Locke's videos. I can also share the link with you, and you can share with the your followers. Dan has amazing affirmation video, like a millionaire mindset. So it goes like, I'm a money magnet, and people love to do business with me, and all those things, which really gets me excited in the morning. And then I visualize my mission, vision, and goals. Like, first your mission has to become real on paper, then it becomes here, and then it becomes really here in real life. So I
Mm.
truly believe in it. So I visualize it, and then I go to gym, I finish my workout, and then come, listen to audiobooks while I'm working out. And once I come back home, I still listen to audiobooks. So I finish a typical audiobook, whole book within a couple of days or 2-3 days. So my goal is to have 100 books, read 100 books in a year, and I'm very much on track of that. So that's what I do. That's what I do. And then comes the scribble part, which is writing down your thoughts and sharing your content with social media. So I share all my secrets, all my ideas on YouTube, and so I create my content. So this is the savers which I follow, which includes
Wow.
talk, which is the affirmation, which has really transformed my life.
Oh, wow. Savers. So, this is something that everybody should know. This is through Dave. So, guys, keep this in mind. So, like, what time do you really, start your day? Uh, what time is it? And
Uh,
what time do you end your day?
Well, people may not like me because I'm not a morning guy. I usually
Okay.
and there are a few people,
But you
unconventional.
really believe in that concept of early to bed and early to rise and all that. Do you
I
think
don't. I,
how has it really played a part in you? And you said you're not a morning person,
yeah.
so how do you actually make that concept different, and how it has worked for you?
Yeah. So I think the part of it is because I was working in late shift, night shift for almost like 9 years of my career.
Okay.
Start 9 of your careers, I was the late guy. So probably I got used to it, and all the job then I got, I was either in a Europe shift or American shift, and
Mm.
my office used to start around 2 o'clock or so. So by default, my
The
habit,
graveyard shift.
yeah, it's a graveyard shift, right? So my habit became like this. So now, when I'm living 6 days a week, I still prefer that, staying up late at night and waking up around 9 or 10 or 11. Or, these days I don't use the alarm clock. I just wake up when I wake up.
Okay.
So,
Right.
so I'm not that guy. But does this, impact my life? Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people say that,
Mm-hmm.
you should wake up, before the sunrise, before
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
move your body. I think it's true. It is true. But for me, I think it's okay because that's how I've been living. And, I enjoy my late night times. I spend time for myself. I have my thinking time. So yeah, that has really been my life so far.
So you say that it really doesn't make any. It is good to raise early, sleep early, and all that. But still, if you're utilizing the time that you're awake
Yes.
and giving the best in what you're doing for the minimum number of time that you're probably waking up, whatever time, or sleeping, whatever time, but if you're giving your productive time to it, I think that really works and keeps you positive, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Just maximize your time, so, there are two things, either you're busy or you're productive. So I make
Yeah,
sure that I'm productive most of the time.
productive. Exactly. I
I'm
go
very
for that.
particular about my time, and I make sure that, I don't waste my time. Of course, I go for movies and here and there.
Yeah.
But I'm very particular about my time.
Yeah, because you have 7 Sundays. So obviously. No,
I
I
need
mean,
to work again.
I'm very inspired and happy by this concept because I also believe in something like that.
Mhm.
You can see the background that I'm in. Honestly, I work at the moment, and I work with IBM, and I'm a human resource person. Honestly, I am not a 9 to 6 person.
I
No,
didn't know that. Okay.
but yeah, so life has led me to make this choice. This is not a choice that is I have taken up willingly, but I always believe that sometimes life shows you something that you feel that is a better thing to make a choice at the moment. you know
Yes.
so for me, what I'm doing today in terms of open up or talking to you and impacting people's life through whatever I'm doing, right, is something that I'm just following your path. Like, do it at another track for the moment, and when you feel that you can jump from this to that, and I'm just eagerly waiting to just get into that track as soon as I can, because
It will
see, I
happen.
respect my job, but I don't enjoy what I'm doing,
Yes.
right? And I am not somebody who want to sit there and say, hey boss, I'm going to be here, because there's no challenges. I'm earning those thousands. That doesn't really make any difference to me.
Yes.
There
Yes.
are people who are doing it, but for me, I know that there's something more,
And,
right?
and, and
That
I,
is when I'm taking my break time off, and I'm talking to you.
oh, is that so?
um,
Oh, very
yeah,
sweet of you. Very
yeah.
sweet.
And I'm talking to you because this is what gives me joy. This is what makes me full, complete, sufficient, you know, not other things. So, and I just want to tell people that, guys, if you feel whatever step Dave has taken, I think you had taken a risk in your life to jump without even having any other active source of income. And this is what I really appreciate in you, that you took that leap of faith, and you had that faith in yourself and your faith in your own people, and you said, man, I will take this leap of faith, and you did it. And you had your friend, you had everything planned. So I want to ask you, do you think for anybody, is there a direction in life important? Is there like a goal or an end point to see or visualize is important? I think somehow that has worked for you. That's when you walk towards it.
Yes.
How do you define it? Like, what advice do you want to give to people who really want to take this leap of faith
Hmm.
when they want to?
That's a very good question. And mostly when people approach me, they tell me that, Dave, I have so much responsibilities, I have so many things, I cannot actually just switch off my 9 to 5 life and then switch on this, which is absolutely correct. So for which, knowing few things is very, very important, and I cover this in my workshop. Again, for your followers, I can also share the link. You can just watch the full whole day online workshop, for free, and they can understand the step by step things that I did, and I share all my secrets there, so they can read, go through that videos. They can do it. But if I had to tell you in a nutshell, first thing that you need to be clear is on your why. People don't know why they're doing what they're doing.
Correct.
So if you do not know why you want to, come out of 9 to 5 and what you want to do, then it's not the right time for you to start.
Exactly.
First, you
Exactly.
need to be in 9 to 5, figure out who you truly are as a person. Like you figured out that it gives you, like, I can see the sparkle in your eyes and, a broad smile on your face when you said that it brings joy to me, what you're doing right now, right? That sparkle, that happiness, feel, and, you need to feel and you need to find out what does that one thing makes you happy. Does singing makes you happy? Dancing makes you happy? And helping people make you happy? Being speaker makes you happy? Whatever makes you happy, first you need to figure that out. And then Just do that very often, parallel to your 9 to 5.
Right, right,
Once you
right.
start doing that, you will get the positive feedback loop. People come and tell you, like, all my new mentees, they're feeling this, right? They're writing articles, they're making videos, they're connecting with people, and they're getting positive feedback loop. And they're saying that, hey, I loved your article. The kind of joy they're feeling is what you felt, when you started, is the joy which I felt when I started. So find that thing which gives you joy, and then figure out how that joy can actually impact more people, right? If you're a singer and if you're not able to add value to others, then you're going to be a broke person. You can never come out of 9 to 5. uh, so you need to figure out what you're really passionate about, then find out, is it going to impact people? Yes. Okay. Then the third thing is there really a demand in the market?
Yeah, yeah,
Demand to do things that people really don't care. So if you have all these three things together, then you have a plan which you can use to quit 9 to 5 and build your business around passion. Now, out of all three, which one is the most important is finding your why. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? What is your mission? What is your purpose? What is your vision? And this is not an overnight thing that you will have to think, then you'll figure out. Somewhere deep down, you
yeah,
have the why already.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Identify, and you need to figure it out.
I
So
get it.
there are a few things you can ask yourself that, hey, what if you were a millionaire today? If you're
Mhm.
a multi-millionaire, what would you be doing for your rest of your life?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why? Right? That
Exactly.
is ask that question and then see if that makes you happy. I'm doing this. If this makes you happy, can you do this for whole life? And even if nobody pays you, or when you're a multimillionaire, can you talk to people, inspire people? Then yes, that is your why and that is your purpose. And then you need to just go after it by learning how to build that into a business model. So that's my answer.
Oh, cool. I really like this thing that you told, that when somebody has everything, right, they also have something more. No,
Mhm.
it's not that, when you have everything and you sit there and say, hey, I have everything, I have all the comfort, so what am I supposed to do next? As you told that, there is something more that, when you have so much money or when you have so much wealth with you, how will you serve, having that wealth with you, and how will you serve and utilize it to the betterment of others, and very few people do that. Very few people do that. And
Yes.
someone like us who has the entire life to do a lot of things, you
Yes.
know, and I think for us, we need to have the direction,
Yes.
without which I think and then I think your book and the stuff that you're doing is actually leading people to that,
Yeah.
and I'm very glad that you're doing something like this.
Yeah.
So very out of the question, what I want to ask, do you believe in luck?
Luck.
Yeah.
Well, answer is yes, I do believe,
Okay.
but probably 1% of it.
Hmm?
The
So
90,
how do you define that?
huh?
How do you define that?
All right. So a lot of people say that I was lucky. So
Mm-hmm.
what I would say, yes, I am lucky. If you have running water, if
Mm-hmm.
you have food on your, in your house, if you
Mm-hmm.
have roof on your top, rooftop, then yes, you are lucky. That's all you
Yes.
need. If you're living in this internet age, social media age, and you're able to see this, trust me, you are already lucky. How luckier can you get than this? There are people living in Africa and some remote villages. They don't have proper health facilities. They're malnutrition. They are truly the unlucky people. But if you're living in this world and watching this, you are the luckiest person. Then what you do
Wow.
after
You know
is,
what? I should stop you there and say,
yeah,
you really made me feel nice about this statement, because people's definition of luck is like, you do nothing but things happen. You know, that's the definition of people, how they have learned the word luck. For me, luck doesn't exist, but yes, what I learned from you today is the definition of what you say. If you have a roof, if you have water, running water, if you have internet, you have, man, all these facilities, don't you think these are the stuffs that you have and you're lucky? Now utilize this. Now
yeah,
it's all in your hands. Right?
absolutely,
Wow.
absolutely. You're able, you're able. You have all the resources that you need, and yet if you're complaining, that you're the most unlucky person, right? So that is 1%, which I believe in. That
Yes.
God
Yes.
has given me brains. God has given
Yeah.
me all the things which is possible. then what I do with that is up to me. So the rest 99% is the effort, what you make out of that luck. So
Absolutely.
people
Absolutely.
people just watch me and say, Dave, a lot of my ex-colleagues also, they reach out to me and say, Dave, you're doing amazing. I love it. So, I love them as well. But if I show them what I did, and if they implement the same formula, they will also get the same success. Like, I did not do anything out of the blue. Of course, I worked hard because I wanted to work hard and I wanted to serve others. So it came effortlessly to me. So I never felt like, oh man, I'm working too hard. I'm
Yeah.
slogging.
Yeah.
I never had that day, right? Because I found my purpose. I found my passion. So every day was like that. So if I just give you a glimpse of my typical 9 to 5 day is, I will typically wake up at around 9 o'clock on typical day. I get freshen up, get ready. And the first thing I'm going to do is, record my video. That's when I usually, the 2 years ago when I started. So I'll record the video, and I had no idea, technology, nothing. All I knew is I wanted to give and I want to serve. My video sucked, right? And I started with that. I'll record this in the morning, go to office, work 9 to 5, and come back home, edit the video. I mean, I did not even know the editing at that time. And I'll load the video because I had no time. So I was
Absolutely.
utilizing my time so effectively that I'll just go. I could not even edit it, right? So I knew that I only have half an hour in the morning slot to record the video, and then that's about it. And then back couple of years back, or 2.5 years back, the internet speed also was not that great. To upload some video to YouTube, 5 minutes would probably take 2-3 hours. So I used
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
in the morning, and morning is better because I did not want to spend money also on great cameras and lighting and all. Right now I
Yeah.
can have the lighting here, but
Yeah.
I could not do that time. So I used to wait for the early morning and bright light,
Amazing.
phone
Yeah.
next to the window, and just record one shot, because I know I only have half an hour. So 10 minutes, 15 minutes video, I'll just record it one shot, because that's when you're fresh as well. Your mind is fresh. Record that, go to office, do all that work, come back, and then update that video. And then in the middle or at night, then you check messages, respond to people, and then that was just one start of it. It just multiplied. Then I just started doing more and more and more. Then learned the editing videos. I learned how to write a book. I mean, I listened to a lot of audiobooks. I was like I living dual life for almost 2 years, like going to office and also building my business parallelly. So my business was slowly picking up. My only key was, serving more people, like more
Yeah.
people know me. Better off I will be the day when I decide to launch my business on my own. So day when I launch it, I'm so lucky that for any of my business, any of my book, any of my workshop, any of my coaching training, I did not make even one cold call, or I did not ask somebody, hey, come and get trained from me. That was only possible because I leveraged the time and I gave selflessly for 2 years. So
Exactly.
by the time I reached, some place, I just had to announce that, hey, here's the cold calling workshop, here's the Passionpreneur workshop, and I'm going to sponsor it. And then I had a plan how I can, work with them for long term. I positioned it, and everybody signed up. And again, till today, I choose who I work with, right? Even back in those days, when I started my first or second workshop, I choose. I asked them at the end of the workshop, who is interested in working with me? They said, okay, 8 or 10 people will show up. Then I'll pick 4 or 5 people out of them by questioning them and asking them if their values are same like mine. If they do not want to impact people, I cannot mentor them. If they're only for money and business, I cannot work with them.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's how I have lived in the last 2 years and utilized my time.
Superb. So, just an question that I really, I'm very curious about. What was your approach when you wanted to serve people's life? And I'm sure, there are two types of people who want to serve. There are people who say that, yes, I want to go do something for people, for their better life and all that. But at the end of the day, they also want to be, monetized for a lot of things, right? And there are many people who say that, I will just walk the journey and I'll see what is going to be the best in store for me. So what was your approach? How did you, what was there in your mind when you wanted to do this? Was it about, very bluntly, I'm asking you, was it about like, at the end of the day, no, I want to be, monetized in this way or that way or whatever. So was that your approach, or what was a different approach?
Yeah. So for me, honestly, when I started this journey, I had no idea that I would write a book.
Yeah.
No idea that I will become a keynote speaker. I had no idea I'll be doing workshops. I had no idea I'll build my annual engagement mastermind Passionpreneur, India's first Passionpreneur mastermind program. I had no idea doing this. Only thing I knew is my mission. My mission was to inspire, empower, and transform 10 million lives. That just became center of my life, right? I should not be saying this, but even my family was part of my life, not center of my life. Because the day when you find your purpose, the day when you find your mission, you realize like God has sent us here for a reason. Right? God did not say that, hey, you know what, go
Right.
9 to 5 and just live happily,
Right.
make movies and live happily. God did not send us like that. God sent us with a purpose, which is to impact others and give to others. So the day when I had that mission clear and I started writing down every day, all my decisions were based on that. So I would do videos, blogs, coaching. I did even free coachings, so many free coachings to start with. Even middle of 3 o'clock at night, when I was in US on a business trip, I had committed to this one person from Hyderabad that I'll help her, and guiding her how to, tune her mind and become successful. I did those free coachings at 3 o'clock at night sometimes. And that also, traveled overnight, drove the car and came home at the hotel and then did the coaching. So, so those were the days I had no idea what I'm going to do, right? Money to me is a byproduct of value creation. I knew if I'm creating more value, if I'm impacting more lives, money will automatically come. So money was never the center of everything that I was doing. But how did it change then? How did I started making money then? I've shared my secret, in my workshops as well. But there is an interesting thing which I want to share with you is after I started my journey about 6 to 8 months, one fine day I get a call from one person. His name is Pradeep. He's based out of Nigeria, and he said, "Hey, is it Dave?" I said, "Yeah, it's Dave. Hi, Dave. I've been following your videos and all that thing." And he's somewhere in like 40s, mid 40s something. So, he said, "I've been following your video content and I really love, and it's really added value to me. I just want to ask you, do you do a paid coaching?" Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay. I never expected somebody will pay me for what I'm doing, which is sharing my knowledge and wisdom with others. So I do not know somebody will, come and tell me. So
Yeah.
I said, yes, I do. Then his second question he asked is, how much do you charge? I was like,
Mm.
your brain starts working in a very, very fast pace.
Exactly.
How much, 10,000, 15,000. Then and I said, you know what? I actually charge 5,000. But if you do it for next week, I'm going to do it for 3,500. That was my first proof of concept. And this is what I teach to my, followers as well, that how to have proof of concepts before you quit your 9 to 5 job. You need to have proof of concept. And the biggest proof of concept is when somebody is ready to depart from their hard earned money for whatever you're doing, that's your biggest proof of concept. So I got that proof of concept. That was one. And then multiple proof of concepts happened over a period of time in next 1 or 2 years. And one thing led to another, then book became bestseller. I started making money parallel to, I was working and all that. That's when I decided, okay, now I'm doing pretty good. And I think I can survive with the money. I have a plan. Let me just, launch workshop. And then I strategize the annual engagement model. That's where I started making money. But money was never the original motivator for me. My motivator was only to impact people. Till today, money is still not my motivator. Money is just the byproduct. I know. I mean, do you think that if I impact 10 million lives, I'll be a broke person? I will be.
Right.
That is my philosophy that, hey, go for impact, go for contribution. Don't just focus money, money, money. I mean, of course, money is important. Money is power, but money will come. Chase money intentionally. It will come automatically if you create more value. So that's
Absolutely, absolutely. The reason why I asked you this question was for me to, reach this out to many people as I can, because this is what I believe in. The concept that you told, when you make money the beginning of what you want to do, right? Then you're limiting your thoughts. Then
yes.
you're limiting your everything that you want to, add value to. First of all, I think your intent itself is wrong. The way you start. So I always believe that when somebody is willing to pay for what you're offering,
Yes.
that is when is something that you are been given, you know, uh, in return of what you're doing.
Yeah. Then you realize
I
you created enough value that
Yeah,
universe is
yeah,
giving you money now.
yeah, because people are okay to invest or offer something for something that they can gain value in their own lives.
Absolutely.
And through you, if they can do and pay some money for it and pay some value to it, I think that's pretty good. But
Absolutely.
keeping money as the first focus and approach, I think that is not going to take people
It's a
to the
disaster.
extent that you're looking at.
It's a
Yeah,
disaster move to
it's a
have.
disaster.
Having
Absolutely. That
money
is the
only,
reason why the question came up.
yes, no, very, very good question. Very smart question. Having money only the driver,
Yeah,
you will fail. Definitely you fail because when times are tough and when things are not moving, you will give up easily, right? Because money
absolutely.
was the only motivator. If you don't see money, you will give up. You become a selfish person now, right? And when you are selfish,
Absolutely.
you can sense it. Yeah, you just want to, do this because of money. So that's a biggest, no, no.
Oh, I'm super happy and super this is what when somebody says something and that resonates in me, that for me is like a beautiful moment. And there are a few things that you told and I really could completely connect with it, and I hopefully feel that all the people who are going to watch this should really understand how simple life should be, and this is how you need to create your own world and own space in your own interest that you do. So,
Absolutely.
last question is about your family. Okay, so how is your family your your driving force? Are they somebody who really um, are raising you? What are they doing in your life? Because they are also here in your life for some reason, and with their own own life reasons as well.
Yes.
As an individual, like your wife or your kids or whoever it is.
Yeah.
But how are they playing a part in your life?
Oh, they're really, really the big pillars, right? As it all starts with mom and dad. So my mom is now my pillar, who actually brought me to where I am today. And hopefully I'm making her proud. She usually tells me that you're making me proud, which is good. So she is definitely the driving force till now. It's a funny story. I'll share with you. Is if there are days which goes without sharing video, my mom calls me and said, Dev, क्या हो गया? Videos नहीं आ रहे हैं आपके? She does not understand English, but still she watches my videos and she tells me that you're not making videos because I don't do any Hindi videos. So she's like curious, why not? She doesn't understand. So that definitely pushes me to do more. That hey, there's somebody watching. Somebody
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
proud of what you're doing, helping others. So that definitely is really a strength for me. Then of course my brother and my wife is my strength. My brother has been a guide for a very, very long time. Like when I started my career, I had no idea what
Right,
I'm going to do. My brother said
right.
in BPO, okay, I'm going to go win BPO. When I started my career, my brother said go get into sales, business development. I got into sales. Right, so all I did listening to him initially. So it's a big credit to him as well. And then of course my wife, I've been married to her for I think 5 to 6 years, I think.
Wow. Okay. Not a long time, but then yes,
Yeah,
5 years is also something that you
yes,
need to take it as.
yes.
Yeah.
So, she told me one thing, when I was the day when I called her and I recorded this, not our conversation, but I shared my true feeling in the same video. I quit, bye bye, Dave Gadhvi, the last day of work. So the day when I called her that, my dear, this is what is happening, this is what is happening, and I had that sense there's something is going to go wrong today. And I had that intuition because my boss said there'll be a review and something will happen. So it was an interesting day. So I called her and I said, this is what's going to happen. So she said, you know what, Dave, I believe in you. I trust you will do good. You will take care of us. It's fine. Go for it. Do what you think is right. I'm like, wow, that's the validation and support I needed, right? That was number one, right? Number two, then I spoke with a mom. That mom, this is what's going to happen, and in case if I'm not able to send you money, would you be able to manage? He said, yeah, absolutely. You go, take care. I've done some investing in there. You don't even send me for a few months. I'll take care of it, right? So again, positive validation. Then I called my brother the same day, same night. It was at around 11 o'clock or so, and I called my brother. Brother, that's how it is. I'm gonna, call it a day. He's like, okay, isn't it a little early? I said, yeah, but it's okay. It is what it is. And I think it's the right time for me to, get started. He said, okay, no worries. I said, yeah, thoda upar niche ho jata to just, cover me. Okay. He said like, okay, I'll cover you. Don't worry. Whatever it is good. So that gave me enough strength to follow my passion. Right. And they've been seeing my journey in the last 2 years that I've been doing videos and all that thing. And I also had the POCs, people paying me money here and there for small courses or small coaching and all that thing. So family has been very, very supportive. And today, yeah, I think, I hope I'm making them proud.
Wow. So they have been a support in your life. How is there anything that you have done in terms of, like, fulfilling your wife's dreams or anything as such? Is there any interest in her, and you've been an integral part in her life the way she's been to you? So how has that been, that kind of a, um,
Yeah, so me and my wife, we had an understanding, and our daughter is 3 and now, probably 3.5, going to be 4 years old now. So she wanted to, take care of the family, and we decided that, you should take care of the family. I'll go out and, do everything. So she quit her job long back when we met, after we. So she's always been my supporter. So, I've been supporting her with whatever she needs. I even paid her her education. She wanted to do some, few beautician courses and all. So I supported her before even we were married, right? So that was a big amount back then. 2000, I think, what, 11 or 12, I don't know, 2010 or 11, I think. 50,000 just for the fee was a big amount for me at that time. So I supported her without even having anything, just boyfriend, girlfriend. We were just carrying around. So I supported her in whatever, she and I could do at that time. But the best part is, it's more to do with her than me, right? She is my strength, and motivate than what I can do, because she is taking care of my daughter. So yeah, I think that's working out well for us.
Wow, that's really nice. This also because, the question is, many people expect one-sided stuff in their life,
Yeah.
but in written, I always believe that relationships is all about raising each other, right? It's not just about making a relationship, but building a relationship is very, very important.
Yeah,
And I
just
think when
just to that note,
relationship,
sorry to interrupt. Just to that note, I should have mentioned this.
yeah,
I'm the only guy, in my relatives that who is married outside of Gujarati community. So
okay, okay,
my wife is a Naga Christian, right? So that was the time when we had a tough time to convince my mom initially, right? And we had to go back and forth how Gujaratis are initially, from their values and all. So that way, I think we were really bonded well, and she supported me. She never answered back any bad mouth my mom, despite of my mom doing, giving us the tough time on those days.
true, true.
That is the reason I respect her a lot. So she has seen a lot, and our bonding is so much, and gone through the rough patch as well. So I think you're absolutely right. You see strength in them, and then of course I've been supporting,
Yeah.
her, sometimes her family here and
Yeah.
there. So I think we are each other's strength. So you're absolutely right.
Oh, amazing. And you know what? Just to end this, I need to tell about myself in this matter. You know what? My mom's a Gujarati and my dad's a Christian. Is a Roman
Wow.
Catholic.
Okay. Okay. So much
Okay. And
similarity
my
then, you
mom's
guys.
born in Mumbai.
Uh-huh.
I was born in Mumbai and brought up in Bangalore.
Oh.
Okay. And my dad's a Pakka Mangalorean Catholic from South, from
Okay.
Karnataka. So
Uh-huh.
today, why I say relationships are very, very important, and I believe in that intimate love that is shared between a boy and a girl, or a man and a woman, is very, very important, because I see this through my parents, coming from different communities, and people like you who also has chosen your partner, um, you know um, um, regardless of caste, creed, or backgrounds, or whatever, and still make your life only with the feeling called love, only with the pure feeling called love. And that has made me more better as a person to connect with anybody, because my parents have shown that through their relationship, that it doesn't really matter. What matters is how you share that feeling called love with each other.
Absolutely.
And that is something that I just wanted to share. So I am no different, and I understand the
We have a lot
Gujarati
of
community that you
similarities.
come from.
Lot of similarities. Gujarati.
I'm like a half Guju and a half Catholic. But believe it or not, my mom blended so well, that today she recites all the prayers in Konkani. Even my dad doesn't do it as better as what she does.
Wow,
you
that's
know
beautiful.
so I think that's the way I think partnerships are built, and relationships are built. I think if you have a better people in your life, and I think your success is there just because you have people backing you.
For sure.
So it was an amazing talk with you, Dev. I would want to continue this on a different aspect and a different platform, which I will talk to you offline. Thank you so much for being a part of this beautiful conversation.
Pleasure.
And I mean, anything that you want to say. And just want to let you know that what do you think about this concept? Lastly, I want to end with this. Your thoughts on OpenUp. What do you think about it?
I think this is beautiful, and I wish if more and more people can connect in such platform. Today, honestly speaking, what we are learning in education system is not enough, right?
Absolutely.
Education system is teaching us only one and only one thing:
Yeah.
is go get a job and live 9 to 5 life. It's mass producing a lot of blue collared labors.
Yeah. True.
So there is a huge vacuum of learning from people who are really experienced in certain things which are beyond academics. And the platform like this, Open Up, this is the true platform which I believe that actually can fill that gap and give the direction to people who really can transform their lives. Like
Yeah.
ask any student or even graduate and ask them, hey, did your college teach you how to find the passion? Did your college teach you how to find the purpose? Did your college teach you how to impact others, how to contribute? No college teaches you all that.
Absolutely.
These are the core. Nobody, no college teaches you what should be your mission, what should be your vision. Because all the successful people who became successful, they all had vision, mission, purpose. Everything was clear, and they were living their passion every day. That's why they became successful. Now, this education system doesn't teach. Now, what we discussed today, no education system, can teach. Now,
Absolutely.
coming with so many years of experience, I'm also coming with so many years of experience. When we are sharing our thoughts coming from that experience, which is practical, that adds more value to anybody listening to it. So that's why. So whatever you're doing is fantastic.
Thank
And
you.
I wish you more power, and I wish the more and more people follow you. And I'll
Thank
also
you.
share this link with me. I'll also share it with my followers to just show that what an effort that you're putting. You're working at the same time you're doing this, and you extended probably your break for a long time.
No, but I'm super delighted.
I'm glad. I'm glad. So that's all. And to my followers, if you're watching this, to your followers, if you're watching this is the right time. This is the right time to figure out what you really stand for, what you're passionate about, and find the true meaning of your life. And
Absolutely.
I did a post,
Absolutely.
yesterday, today, I think I wrote a quote which I said that if you are not clear your mission, if you're not clear with your mission, then for sure you don't know what your purpose is and what your true potential is. You will not be able to figure out your true potential till you find your mission and purpose. That is what will give you true meaning to your life. If you want to learn more about me and my journey, I highly recommend you pick up this book, invest few hours. It has got me so many good feedback that people have finished this book in 6 hours straight, 8 hours straight. People have bunked their offices just to complete this book. That's how engaging I've written. It's all practical, step-by-step guide, not a motivation at all. You will feel that I'm talking to you, and you'll realize once you read this book. So why don't you learn from this? If you, and there's one more quote I want to share. It's my quote again.
Yeah.
Is you are where you are because of your current knowledge. You are where you are not where you want to be because of your current knowledge.
Yes.
Knowledge is
Yeah.
helping you to be there, but the same knowledge is holding you back here. So how would you go to a next level? So only way to go to next level is when you learn something different and have more knowledge to get to where you want to go. What would that, how would you get that knowledge? Either watching these interviews and following people like you and your podcast, or reading books like this and many other books, right? So if you are the first time book reader, trust me, this is the ideal book you can start with, because if you start with the boring book, you will never go back to your reading book again. So read this book, and I'll tell you, it will give you the immense power. And trust me, you will read multiple books once you finish this book, and you're going to finish it pretty soon. That's the message I want to leave you with. That's all from.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much. I really liked your last quote, because I also believe in, people get stuck is only for the reason because, they don't want to. They are very rigid in their learnings,
Yes,
So people have to make an attempt to, unlearn and relearn things, something that works better and good for them.
absolutely.
That is something that I also want to end this with, and I'm going to read that book, Dave. Thanks for inspiring, and thanks for all the profound thoughts that you had, and thank you again. I can't thank you enough. Yeah,
Oh,
all the best,
my
and
pleasure.
all the best to
More power to you.
all the stuff that you're doing. God
Thank you.
bless, and have
Thank
a
you.
great life.
Thank you so much. I wish you the same. More power to you. And what you're doing is amazing.